If we want love, compassion, and understanding to go viral, then we have to do more of that and breed more of that, even in these situations when it's unimaginable. You know, when we can see someone's conditioning, maybe they're being an absolute ass and they're being really ignorant and really self-centered and really loud and very selfish. Rather than react to that with ignorance, if I react with ignorance and disconnect as if we're on different teams, it's only going to breed more ignorance. When in reality, that individual may be carrying things I have no idea of. They may have never known love in their life. They might have never had someone to care for them. They may be working 4 jobs and trying to raise 8 children as a single mother. The best thing I can do for anyone in that situation is to make them feel seen, heard, understood, and loved, even if that is just by making them smile. And I can do that. I believe we can all do that by still drawing boundaries. You know?
I do. And it's, you know, as you're saying it, that point about the evolution, I think evolution is the right word, the spiritual evolution that we're going through, because there's a spiritual aspect to it and there's an evolution aspect to it, in that there has to be a faith, right? You said to turn off that conditioning, to no longer worry about the individual and that threat, that it is unimaginable at times. It feels unimaginable. It's impossible to do almost. Literally, I think about this all the time. I say this all the time. Like it should feel impossible. It should feel like it's literally almost like the example I use is like when you hold your breath and you try and hold it for as long as you can. At some point, your body's going to start to like kick in and be like, you need to breathe right now. Like it absolutely has to happen. Doing the things you're saying, I think at times when it's hard, when you're doing it, when somebody's being an ass, it has to feel like that. Like this is physically impossible for me to do this because it goes against everything that I think is right and the way to live and how to be a human and all of those things. And there's a leap of faith in it that I need to do that because it's going to lead to the greater good. And it's when you start to talk about it in that way, it's what I've learned in doing this show is that I talk to people from all different backgrounds, different spiritual beliefs, some without spiritual beliefs at all, but you can understand the underpinnings of religion and spirituality because you do have to believe that there is this greater collective that you're working towards, that it's not just about you as an individual. You have to be willing to take a leap of faith. You have to be willing and able to do something that feels completely unnatural and impossible. And those things start to feel like divine, supernatural, things that humans aren't necessarily capable to do on their own. And you need all that to make it possible to do it. So it makes a lot of sense to me that's how this functions. And I think it's when people, because like you could take extreme examples of people, as you said, when somebody's acting like an ass, so many people are going to look at that and say, but the right thing to do is to stop that person, right? If somebody's harming somebody else, there's a time in which I need to harm them to stop it. And that feels so like that has to be what it is. That has to be what we do. And to get people to step outside that and to see the bigger picture, like you're saying, do you think people can do it? Do you think we're capable of it? That as a complete planet, as a complete species, as whatever it is we are, our spiritual essence, our beings, that we can get people to overcome that programming and actually do the things you're saying, break that cycle, do the unimaginable?
I'm going to answer this really carefully because if I say yes, someone can easily say, well, he lives in a cloud, right? So here's my answer to that. How dare we not try?
Which is such a powerful answer because the skeptic, the cynic who says, like, how do you counter that? Like, how dare we not? How can we justify not trying? You'd have to, what would your belief system have to be to not want to try?
Well, to me, you would have to be governed by your own individual identity.
Yes.
So that way you can easily say, I'm just going to take care of me and my family and the hell with everyone else. And you know, Terry, like even you mentioned faith, right? Faith. Now get this is something really powerful as well, because when we talk about faith, people often when they hear with faith, they think of God.
Mhm.
right? Or religion. But here's the thing, faith came first.
Mhm.
To believe in God,
Mm.
you had to have faith that you were part of something greater, whatever that was. Without that faith, there's no way you would even believe in God.
Mm.
So faith came first, and that faith is very simply the understanding that you're part of a larger collective. That's it.
Mm.
You can have faith and not believe in God. If someone's been tormented by religious doctrine and says they don't want to believe in God, they just have faith that we're all part of one collective. And I would say, yes. So then you believe there's some unseen intelligence or energy that connects everyone. And they'll say, yes. And then I'll say, well, you actually believe in God then. You just don't call it God.
Mm.
So it's different to say, I don't believe in the traditional understanding of God. And you can call it whatever you like. But as long as there's some faith that we're part of some larger something, or there's some unseen energy that connects all of us, well, then call it whatever you will, right? Now, even for someone, get this, Terry, even for someone that in no way has no faith and does not believe in God, this is still a conversation we could have. Because as long as someone is interested in the betterment of humanity and making the world a better place, then it's as simple as recognizing the power. We know we always talk about, people love now in New Age spirituality to talk about our power, step into our power, rah, 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 rah. Sure, that's not all flowers and rainbows. Our power is that we can change people, that we can impact them on a heart level. It also means that we can do darkness, that we can create disconnect. We can't just look at all the flowers and rainbows, all the positive aspects of our actions, words, and thoughts, and say, look at my power, look at what I did. What about looking at all the times that we showed up in a place of disconnect and neglect and avoidance? That is also our power. That means we were creating more of that in our world.